Hi, I'm Sharon Finger.
Welcome to the Nasty Labs podcast, legally the best podcast. We're part of the Tokyo Beat Network, and we're a podcast from Game Studio Chuhai Labs where we talk about games, game dev, Japan, and whatever else comes up. So as always, we're your hosts, Kinsey and Mark. So open yourself up a Chuhai, and let's
go! Kinsey Burke. It is episode 50. Hey, this
Can't
is
believe
pretty
it's
cool.
been 50 episodes.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about it. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Back from Golden Week and 50th episode. Like that's like all the good things.
It's a 1-2 punch. It's man, we haven't been having an episode since our 49th episode. That didn't make any sense. Don't fucking judge me. But it feels like it's been a while, and I'm glad to see you. How are you?
Doing fantastic.
Why are you doing fantastic?
Well,
Okay.
as I very briefly mentioned, we had Golden Week.
Yeah.
And Golden Week is, if you don't know, is like a series of holidays in Japan. So essentially, a lot of people end up getting a week or almost a week off.
Yeah.
And if you use some strategic holiday time, you can get like 9 days off in a row or something like that. So that's what I did.
Yeah.
And
what did you do during your tremendous amount of time off?
Oh my gosh, I went to 2 craft beer festivals.
2. Okay.
2. And
Yes.
I went to Fukuoka, which has been on my list for a long time. Like, whenever we talk about Japan and travel, I think I've probably mentioned it before as, like, one of those, like, top of my list places of, like, I really want to go to this place in Japan. Like, it seems really, like, cool and hip, but has a great food culture.
So,
like, on the water. Just all these things.
Slam the brakes. If for people that don't know about that city, can you tell them where it is, what it is, all those sorts of things?
Fukuoka is in, like, way South Japan. It's on the island of Kyushu. And it's one of the bigger cities on that island. Probably that and Kumamoto, and there's a few others. But it's on the most southern island before Okinawa.
Right.
And it's pretty cool. And they're famous for a couple things, but Hakata ramen, which is basically tonkotsu pork bone broth ramen.
But
and it's amazing.
Why is it basically but not?
It pretty much is. Like, I couldn't really find any difference.
Right. I've never had it.
And it's also where the famous ramen chain Ichiran originated. So you can go to the original Ichiran and they serve it in square bowls.
That'd be like going to the original McDonald's.
Be like going to the original
and
Starbucks.
No one has done that.
Nope.
Unless you're from Seattle.
And we were going to go get Hakata ramen, as you do.
Right.
And I saw it on there and I was like, we could go to the original Ichiran. And then I was like, no. And we ended up going to one of the other thing they're famous for.
Okay.
Is called yatais, which are basically like little food carts. And like we have them here sometimes at festivals, but these are a little bit different because these ones all have like stools.
Sure.
So they're like a little bar cart on the street.
Right.
And there's a bunch of them in Fukuoka. I don't really know why they're more famous there than other places. Maybe because the weather's so much nicer. But, like, it's so cool. Or, actually, me and Tony, my husband, were talking about it. And maybe their, like, zoning laws are way different and way easier to get a food cart.
Coming up next on Nasty Labs, zoning laws. Yeah,
it's so cool, though.
So, like, the yatai culture is really popular throughout Asia.
Yeah.
With the exception of Japan. And I find that to be like, I know there are places like, and I'm a huge fan of the outdoor seating, the shitty stool.
Yeah, I love it.
It's made of plastic and it might break if you're drinking. Like, I'm a huge fan. So you had a good time down there. What else did you
amazing. We also went to the big laying down Buddha.
Big lay down Buddha.
He's like
chilling, dude.
Yeah, he is chill. I saw him and I was like, damn, that Buddha be chilling.
Right. That
was pretty cool.
That was very urban of you. That Buddha be chilling.
Oh.
Yes.
How we got to Fukuoka.
Oh. Walked.
We took the Hello Kitty Shinkansen. The Hello Kitty bullet train.
You gotta be kidding.
No.
Okay.
So seeing me and Tony, and I think both of us were wearing like all black. And like just and like it was pretty full.
Right.
But it was like us and this like one kid who were like so fucking excited. Well, Tony wasn't that excited, but I was excited.
Right.
And we kept going up to like the merch car that has like the little like merch area, and it has like this little seating area that's all pink and Hello
Sure.
Kitty and stuff. And it was really just Tony and I, and then this one kid who was so excited. And the kid kept running up to us, be like, "You're excited about Hello Kitty too?"
Oh, wow.
Kind of thing.
Oh, that's nice. So he's a child, and
He was probably like 9.
yeah, and I'm just gonna say, he gets a little bit of a pass.
Although, and I'm not like a big Hello Kitty fan. It's just like I like themed things.
You do.
You know?
Like we've been on the Hello Kitty express train to the airport, and you were also excited about that.
It's pretty cool. And like I will say though,
Okay,
it's
say.
the Kodama, which is the slowest because it stops at every station. And Osaka to Fukuoka, stopping at every station.
How many stations
is
are we
like
talking about?
Too many. It is like the longest Shinkansen ride I've ever been on. And it like the Hello Kitty part wears off about 2 hours in.
Right. Wouldn't it still be the longest Shinkansen you would have been on regardless? Because it's pretty far anyway.
But like on the way back, granted, we stopped at Himeji on the way back.
Yeah.
But the Nozomi, it's basically the express train. It stops at way less stations.
Yeah.
And that one, it was over way faster.
Sure.
Like this one, do you know on like a really long flight when all of a sudden you're like, I don't really want to watch any more TV. What's next?
Yeah.
And you get to that point, I got there.
Oh.
Where I was like, I don't want to go up front and look at the Hello Kitty stuff anymore. Also.
Wait, you did more than once? You went?
Yeah.
Oh, Kinsey.
I would think I went up there 3 times. Well, I found out on my
Yes.
second trip up there to the little dining car thing.
Okay.
It's not really a dining car, but it just has like snacks
Sure.
and merch and shit. They sold alcohol.
Okay.
They only had Chuhais.
Yeah.
And I was like, well.
Don't they sell? I mean, they sell beer on the Shinkansen.
I never saw the like trolley lady.
Oh, okay.
I never saw her. And like I saw the trolley. It was like chained up next to the Hello Kitty merch.
Weren't you guys mad hungover?
No.
Because you guys went to a
beer
a
festival.
drinking
Yeah.
saloon.
And we were very good. We only did the 5 ticket thing, so the 5 drink instead of the 10 drink ticket.
Kinsey.
And we stopped drinking completely by like 8 p.m.
Okay.
And we made sure our hotel was like not by the beer festival, but by the Shinkansen station. So that way we had a last train scenario going on. So we couldn't be out late.
So your husband had told me the day before, or whatever. he was. I said, "Oh man, it's like it seems like this is a bad idea to go to a beer festival and then get on the Shinkansen." And he was like, "Well, we have to get on the Hello Kitty."
Can you imagine being hella hungover on the Hello Kitty Shinkansen and you're like barfing your guts out in the shitty like bathroom and it's like all pink and you're like, hey, Hello Kitty.
Was the toilet themed as well?
No.
Oh,
And actually, it was a lot. It was like there was the cute car, the kawaii car, but you couldn't book that one. That was only non-reserved seats.
Right.
And during Golden Week, I was not about to book a non-reserved ticket.
Yeah.
So, but the reserved cars, they all look like 100% normal Shinkansen.
Right.
And I was like, well, that's stupid. And like some of the walls have like Hello Kitty stickers on them. But besides like the kawaii car and the merch car and the outside,
Right.
it's kind of it.
Lame.
I was kind of surprised. Like I did go sit in the unreserved car and like take pictures. But I don't know. I got over the Hello Kitty part pretty fast because it didn't lean into it as much as I thought it would.
I'm over it too.
I thought it was going to have like a cafe. And then we went to Himeji.
There we go. Yeah, all right. We went to Himeji. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, Himeji's a cool town.
Yeah, and that's the little princess town. Mm-hmm. That's where she lives. And did you see any movies that came out as of recently in the theater?
Oh, I was like ones that have Himeji in them? No, only the biggest movie in fucking video games that came out.
Yeah, Street Fighter 2, the movie.
The game.
The game.
It finally came out in Japan because we had to wait like 3 weeks. I saw the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Bear, bear, bear.
Yay! And it was so cute. Like I went on opening night at Toho Cinemas and like they had like a whole thing set up. They had like Mario and Luigi mascot characters there.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of like merch. I don't know how exclusive it was, but like with your pre-purchase ticket, you also got like a fan and like a collectible card thing, and all the seats had seat covers on them, so they all had toads.
Oh, did you take it?
No, it was kind of looked like it'd been through a few sessions.
Okay.
It was a little rough, but it was cool that it was there.
Right.
And I really enjoyed it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun ride. And
Fun ride.
And the voice acting didn't bother me.
Okay.
And now you can talk about it because you saw it forever ago.
I
like
did.
The rest of the world.
I saw it the opening day, like the world opening day. Yeah. It's a movie, and it was it's a movie, and it's for kids, and it's hard for me to get past that because it's not a good movie. It's not good.
I thought it was
It's
fun.
for kids.
Yeah,
it's
it is
Minions.
for kids.
It's like if you
see
don't
Minions? Minions is fun.
Yeah, if you don't
I
like
hate that I
movies,
think that, but it is fun.
No, but I'm sure it's fun for a kid.
Yeah.
Especially someone who like you could see Mario and not understand what's happening and have a good time.
Yeah.
Like a 3-year-old can get it.
Yeah.
Bad guy, good guy. Super easy. I really love the intro to the movie Mario. I think it's fucking sweet.
It's really good.
And that's where then it becomes a kids movie. And it was too for me. It was like the pacing of it was like way too fast. There was
they tried to fit a lot in, so it was always next thing.
Right.
I do agree, though. I really liked the beginning. It reminded me of like 80s movies. You know, it's like the beginning of Ghostbusters.
That's
like,
what they were doing,
you
right?
know,
Like,
it's awesome.
I really thought that like that was the core of the movie, and then it shifted.
I like the song, and I like that there is a song.
Yeah, the song was quite good. I also
isn't it up for like a Grammy? It's up for something. It's up for an award.
Well, okay. The goodness, I don't know if it's that good.
Good job, Jack Black.
Yeah, I mean, he was great.
He was great. Have you seen too how excited he has been about being Bowser?
Yeah,
He loves it.
No, he was obviously the standout performer
He
for
did
sure.
amazing.
You know who I didn't think was very good? I didn't think Seth Rogen was that good.
So I kind of agree because Seth Rogen was Seth Rogen. He wasn't playing a character, whereas a lot of other people were. You know, and I felt like it fit Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
but
okay.
I also knew that it was Seth Rogen. You know, like he wasn't playing a character; he was himself.
Okay, so let me rewind. Maybe I thought he was fine, but I thought that Donkey Kong was misused.
Well, yeah, Donkey Kong just seemed like a kind of a spoiled brat.
Character aside, but it's like why was Donkey Kong even there? Like
Cranky Kong, son.
No, I don't. I don't mean. No, I just mean why they didn't do anything in the movie besides he fought Mario for a second, and then his usage was 0.
Well.
And I thought he was misused, and like the dialogue they wrote for him wasn't like that exciting.
Oh, that I agree.
And like it was just kind of like he was just there to be there.
Yeah, he had some good stinger lines, but they used all of them in the trailers.
Yeah,
like every single one of them.
But I think every other actor did fantastically. Like
I really liked Peach's character. I liked that she was like leading everything.
She didn't though.
She did.
No, because at the end of the day, she said, "Mario, now you do it."
I mean, but she led everything and like helped plan all.
I wanted her to be the girl boss, but it turned into like
but
Mario's
I feel
the guy.
It was inevitable.
Yeah, it was a kids movie, so I don't know why. But at the same time, to me, it was a 7.5.
I mean, 7.5 is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
That's my rating. It's not any higher than that. I think a lot of the performances were good. I love the intro. I love the Charles Martinet cameo was really good.
That was really good.
Well, especially because I didn't expect it, the way it was handed to.
Heard
to
it,
us.
and then you're like, yes!
Yeah, you knew right away. You know, like that was like the first 10 minutes were flawless, but overall, it was as good as it was allowed to be. It was a product. It didn't feel like a movie.
It was fun. Now I wonder if they're going to do like a Zelda movie.
I can assure you they will do a Zelda and a Donkey Kong and a Luigi, and they're going to take this cow out and get all the milk.
Yeah, because as we've reported on before on the show, like it made gangbusters. So it's going to print money if they do another one. All I ask is that Link never talk.
So, I mean...
Please, God.
He will. He will.
I know he will, but I don't want it.
So you probably know that like Nintendo's opening up like a whole studio. They're trying to do the MCU thing. So everything that you love, they will exploit, and you will eventually not like it.
We'll see. We'll see.
Well, okay, not you. The rest of us will eventually not like it. Like it will turn into Ant-Man 3 at some point.
I was like, I don't know what that
That's
means.
what I mean. That's literally like they will squeeze all of the milk out. You know, I didn't mean to be quite it wasn't very good. But
way to bring it down.
Yeah, all right, whatever. I don't know. Like I feel like there needs to be a little bit of dissenting opinion. But you're right.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it was for kids though, so it is hard to. It's hard to like accurately, judge the movie.
I don't think there was a single kid in the theater at that 9:30 showing I went to.
That's really funny because I saw it in Sweden and it was me and another adult, and then it was all kids.
That's how the Sonic movie was when I went.
First, I was thinking like it's like a Tuesday. Why don't you guys be at school or something? Like what's going on here? But yeah, I felt really weird being. We had the best seats too. We had I was god tier seats.
Suck it, kids.
Yeah, fuck y'all. Yeah, and my viewing experience, the guy I went with hadn't ever played a Mario game.
Really?
Yeah. And he was.
What did he say?
And he was like, "Huh, what was that movie about?"
It did have a lot of really good Easter eggs.
Yeah,
like someone who's never played it obviously wouldn't know any of them, but like.
Yeah, and at the end of it, he was also like, "Americans are very strange people." Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not
wrong.
Yeah. So.
And on that note, we have an excellent episode lined up for you. And this week, we will be combining our What Up and main topic for one big Zelda Spectacular.
The Zeldapocalypse.
Zeldapocalypse. God, that's really hard to say.
Zeldapocalypse.
And then we'll be sliding right into the news, and then we'll answer your questions from Discord. Today's show is brought to you by EPOS Gaming Audio, with a comprehensive lineup of both wired and wireless headsets, gaming amplifiers, microphones, and webcams. EPOS has everything you need to experience the power of audio.
Like their H6 Pro lineup, which features two. That's not one. That's two versions, an open or a closed headset. Kinsey, which do you prefer?
My EPOS headphones are the open backs.
Okay.
And I like them a lot.
Well, which do you prefer in life?
Closed.
Yo, EPOS, what's up? The closed headset allows you to tap into exceptionally detailed audio and seals ambient noise, while the open version delivers natural, high-fidelity audio with an incredible soundstage. What's a soundstage?
What's a soundstage?
I don't really know what it is.
Incredible
but
soundstage.
It's incredible.
Is that like dynamic range?
That's a word.
Like if you're on a soundstage?
I'm sure that's what this means, to be honest.
Both headsets include a magnetic detachable microphone and a sleek design that has no wild RGB configurations, just good design.
Listeners can save. Listeners can save by visiting
www.eposaudio.com/gaming and by entering the code EPOSFriend15 at checkout.
I bet the 15 means 15%.
I bet you could be right. Or we've been friends for 15 years.
Or
thanks, EPOS. We're just old friends.
Bye-bye. Tears of the Kingdom!
And that's right, because we are combining our What Up and main topic because it's Zelda. And how often does a new Zelda game come out? Not that often.
Every 6 years. Hey, are you pretty excited about the game Zelda Tears of the Kingdom?
I am very excited about it. So it's funny. I was toying with the idea of taking Friday off to play it.
Yeah.
But I was like, I ordered the physical one. So like, what happens if I take the day off and it doesn't arrive till 4 p.m.? That
would be terrible.
Right?
That's such a waste of your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm just going to wait for it to arrive.
Okay.
And then it arrived at like 11.
Son of a bitch.
And like right when I was going to be like PTO time, I got an email that was like, you have a 5 o'clock meeting. And I was like,
She could have canceled it. Okay. Just so you know, she could have canceled it.
I just pushed it back a little bit.
Yeah.
But everything was fine. It was fine. But trying to like work and be like, my new game just arrived.
Right.
This is hard. And then I played Probably 25 hours over the
Okay,
weekend.
let's slam on the brakes. We're already getting into the thick of it. Let's talk about Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
When Breath of the Wild came out, like that was a launch title.
Mm-hmm.
How many hours did you sink into that game? Tell me about your Breath of the Wild journey. You know, because this is Breath of the Wild 2. It's not called it, but it is Breath of the Wild 2.
I probably put about 200 hours into Breath of the Wild.
200 hours. You beat all the stuff. You got all the swords.
For the most part. I actually, confession, I never beat Calamity Ganon because I felt like I didn't need to. Like, I actually watched my partner beat him, and then I was like, okay, I get it. And it kind of felt like when I played Skyrim. I pushed off the main story forever, and then I finally beat it, and I was like, cool. And then I went back to all the other shit.
Right.
And I loved all the dungeons in Breath of the Wild, and, like, I loved exploring and the map and discovering all these random things. I just loved it.
Sure.
And probably 200 hours, which I know I have a lot of friends who are way more than that, but...
I'm not that many hours. That is a lot of fucking hours. I would guess all in, I'm less than 100. But near 100, somewhere in that. I've beat the game several times. The first time was a 60-hour run, and the reason I beat it at 60 hours, I came to work one day at my old job, and I asked everybody how many hours they put in at that point. And they were all like, 200, 150, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I said, who's beaten it? And everyone said, none of us.
Yeah.
So I immediately went home and like, I'm beating this before everybody.
Yeah.
I love the first one. I think it's a near flawless game.
It's really good.
I don't think it is worth beating. I don't think.
Yeah, since I saw the ending, like story-wise, I was completely satiated. I was just like, no,
Sure.
this is fine. And when I decided I was maybe going to beat it, it had been so long since I played that I'd have to like get back into the swing of the controls and everything to then do like one of the harder parts of the game,
It's not that
And
hard.
so I was like, I'm
It's not
fine.
that hard. It really isn't. It's kind of there's section. I think you could beat it, but I also don't think it's necessarily worth beating. I think that the key game is like
It's everything else.
Yeah, it really is, and that's yet to be said about the new game.
Yeah.
Because neither of us are that far, really.
Yeah, I guess
comparatively.
25 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
Not that far. Especially since, like, I did some story stuff, but I've mostly been going off the beaten path.
Right.
Exploring.
And they want you to.
Yeah.
Like, of course. I when you play Breath of the Wild, there's the four guardians that you have to go to.
I loved those.
Did you start with the elephant? That's the one where they like lead you. They lead you to the elephant.
Yeah, is that the Zora?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the Zora one first.
Yeah, like they do a really good job of implying you should go here because this is the easiest of the four. The second and third time I beat the game, I didn't go to that first, and it was way harder to go off the beaten path.
Yeah,
and I'm guessing Tears of the Kingdom is going to offer a lot of things like that. Like here's the easy mode, or you can do it the dumb way.
And you can do it however you want.
However
really.
you want,
yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, definitely in true Zelda fashion, at least leading to the first dungeon, temple, whatever.
Were you as hype when Breath of the Wild came out? Like, were you in advance of the game? Were you like, holy shit, this is going to be amazing?
I was really excited for it.
So that means you were like super pumped on Skyward Sword and super pumped on...
I didn't love Skyward Sword. It's not one of my favorites of the Zeldas. I didn't get very far in it. I did the prologue when you're on the Sky Island thing.
I have no idea.
I went down below and I did the Forest Temple. And that's where that story ends.
Yeah. I mean, so let me rephrase that. Like, have you always been in between the Nintendo 64 and now? Have you always been like so super crazy excited about the game?
Yeah, weirdly, with the exception of Skyward Sword, and I guess that's really the only one because I loved Twilight Princess and.
Yeah, there was a lot of hype on Twilight. Everyone
so
I think that was.
I think that is one of the most underrated Zelda games.
I don't really like it, but
so
it's
good.
no, I don't really.
I like
it.
that dark timeline, even though Majora's Mask is not my favorite Zelda, but I do like that dark timeline.
That's neat. I think Majora's Mask is a fantastic game, but I like the puzzly elements of it.
Yeah, and I love that part.
Sure. Okay, so you were super pumped. I was not on the Breath of the Wild. Of course, I was going to get it. Of course, because it was a launch game. I had no idea how amazing it was going to be.
So good.
And then, especially for a launch title, like holy shit! Right out the door, they give us the best possible game. But I think Tears of the Kingdom, like basically, the entire world was ready for this. This wasn't just like gamers anymore. This was like every single
literally
motherfucker.
every person.
Yeah. Like it came out last week, and I went to brunch on because I'm a bougie motherfucker. I went to brunch 2 days ago, the day after it came out, and I was sitting down and someone's brought it up, and then like 3 people went and bought the game immediately because they had forgotten how important this was going to be. And these were regular normies. These weren't like us game developers. These were just people like, oh fuck, I got to get this. So yeah. You were super jazzed about all this shit, and now you're 25 hours in. We're not going to talk about the game because also there's nothing we know really that can probably spoil anything. Not really.
Not really.
I've
been noticing with this game, people have different definitions of what a spoiler is. But I do think that there is a standard Zelda like formula that always happens.
Of course, I mean,
like
bad guy.
Yeah, because like
princess.
Yep, and like the different like races, we all know there's going to be Goron and Zora.
Well, that's just a Zelda formula.
So I
think stamp,
like using timestamps like that, like I've gotten this far, I feel like is not a spoiler.
I don't even know what that means, but I also don't care. Like if it spoils it, it's fine with me. But but I think the one thing we can really talk about is like the last Zelda, Breath of the Wild, has a starting place.
Oh, the Great Plateau.
The Great Plateau. And this has the equivalent.
Yeah.
Of course it does. All games have a starting platform. How did you find that? Like
overall,
yeah.
I think the Breath of the Wild tutorial section is better.
Yeah.
But I did like this one. I thought it was a little bit big and it was, I don't know. I don't want to say it was hard because it wasn't necessarily difficult.
I thought it was frustrating.
But it was frustrating. Like, I did get stuck somewhere where I had to reload my save.
Oh, wow.
And
there was no alternative.
There was no, I tried so hard. Well, so I had already gotten all of my powers.
Right.
And I was ready to go to Hyrule.
Right.
And I was playing with the up power. Fuck, what is it called? The up power.
Ascension.
Ascend. Yeah.
Whatever, yeah.
I was playing with that, and like, I went to the roof of the Temple of Time.
Yeah.
I don't have a glider yet. I couldn't get down, and it's too tall to climb.
Why don't you just jump off and take some hearts?
It killed me. I was too high. And then all of a sudden, I was like, "Am I? When did I last say?
Right.
And I was like stuck. And I wasn't even all the way at the top. So I don't even know because like when you are like gliding down, it looked like something was up there. So I was like, ooh, what is it? Right. And where I landed was like the side of the roof. So like I couldn't actually get to the middle. Right. So I got up there, didn't get to look for what I wanted to look for.
Okay.
And couldn't get down. And I had to reload.
Yeah, so I was really surprised and pretty excited that in Breath of the Wild, you have the starting tutorial, and that felt really that felt like I was learning.
Yeah,
it felt like me, not Link. It felt like I was part of the journey, and this one doesn't feel like that as much to me. Mm-hmm. But I did like that they upended the powers a little bit. They're new takes on the same thing. Yeah. More or less.
I really like, even though I got stuck, I really like that ascend power.
Yeah, all of the new powers seem really neat. I think that they're all what did the people upstairs say earlier? Not fidgety.
Fiddly?
Fiddly. I think they're all a little fiddly.
A little fiddly.
They're like not necessarily like, they don't feel super good to me.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that like I just got off of playing like almost 100 hours of Horizon.
Right.
Where the buttons are 100% different.
Oh, right.
Oh, Jesus. Like,
Right. Are they better? Because I don't like
I like the
buttons.
controls in Horizon, like that layout. I think one of my biggest pet peeves of the control layout for Tears of the Kingdom, and it's probably the same for Breath of the Wild. I just haven't played it in so long.
Right.
I don't like it when clicking in the sticks does something important. Like, have it be like sprint or something, because especially when I get
accidentally did it?
anxious, I do it all the time. And the right stick clicking in is that like zoom in with like the
Sure, yeah.
the slate camera thing.
Yeah, dude.
And I do that mid battle,
Yeah.
and I'm like, whoa, this sucks. Or the crouch. So I found out if you're crouched, you can't necessarily take out your glider, because there's a few cases like on the Sky Island. Sometimes a block will just fucking fall. And I'll hit crouch, and then once he's crouched, I can't get him to do his glider right away, and then I just fall to my death.
Bazoinga. Yeah. I don't really. That's my complaint, actually.
I'll get
the
used to
buttons.
it, but the clicks I know I won't get used to.
Yeah, I
Too intense.
in the previous game, I definitely, like, if I was fighting a guardian or something, I would zoom in
Ugh.
quite frequently, like
Yeah.
because of the anxiety plus the bad button placement.
Yeah.
And, like, really, the right click should be a run or something, like you said.
Yeah, if it's something like run, then it's not like intrusive if you accidentally do
Yeah,
it.
and it, like, they could always make it so you swing your sword or what, like, so it
Yeah.
doesn't affect the actual game.
Yeah, and like I'm playing with Joy-Cons right now on the little slidey controller.
Yeah.
I don't remember
modular
the
grip
controller
thing, yeah.
grip thing.
Yeah.
Because I lost my Pro controller,
Right.
and like I didn't ever realize how sensy poo the Joy-Con click-in sticks are.
Yeah.
Wow,
They're not great.
they're just there to ruin my day.
They are not great. My Nintendo Switch Lite is broken. I had your betrothed give it a look, and apparently it doesn't work. But so I pulled out my original Switch, my launch day Switch, and the Joy-Cons were whatever,
A
drifting.
little drifty.
So I bought
drifty-lefty.
like these Hori jumbo.
They looked comfortable though.
They're pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
I have never played docked even one time, and I don't want to because I like handheld games.
Yeah.
This is the optimum handheld way.
Those looked really comfortable.
Yeah, it's very, very good, and but they look really dorky.
Well, yours are like mint green or something.
Oh man,
right?
they look so dorky.
They look like they're supposed to be like the Animal Crossing like
Probably,
aesthetic.
yeah, I think they are.
Yeah.
I'm sure of that. But they don't have the clicking problem.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of what I was getting at. Also, you can assign buttons, remap all your buttons on this controller.
What? That's amazing.
It's kinda weird.
I was like looking in as soon as I zoomed in too many times. Or like crouched. I try to run away from an enemy and I'm all nervous and then I
Right.
crouch. Damn it. Yeah, in the settings, the only button you can move is jump. On the OG controls.
Oh, right.
It's the only one you can move. And I was like, oh no, please.
Okay, so I guess my major complaint of the controls is that so you have all these really neat powers.
Yeah.
I don't like changing from power to power because you have to go to a menu.
Oh, I wish there was a quicker way to do that.
Yeah.
And there might be. I just never looked for it, but
So,
I do that too.
It just feels like a lot of menu diving.
Yeah.
You can attack. I don't want to get into the spoiler territory, but a lot of the neat powers. The powers are neat, but in order to, if I have to use a menu to do it, I get a little perturbed.
Yeah, because I wonder if there's like a shortcut. Like, do you know, like if you hold on the D-pad, you can switch weapons and stuff
Sure,
quickly?
yeah.
Like, there's got to be
But
something like
that's
that.
the same function by
Yeah.
holding it. But that's a small complaint because otherwise, what I am going to say though is the music, the ambient music, that's like real time, is absolutely incredible.
It's really good.
It destroys the previous game.
Yeah, because it makes it very like, it almost sounds like it's like adaptive.
It has to be.
So it like always fits and it's so cool.
It has to be adaptive. It is, to me, it is leaps and bounds from the previous one. It feels very lonely and it feels very, I don't know. I feel like I'm there again and like,
Yeah.
it's like being on the plateau from the previous game and how I felt like it was me. This music makes it feel like it's
So
me
good.
doing it. I like the sense of loneliness that it does. Yeah. So you got the game on launch day, physical.
I got it with the Amazon spoon.
Dude, give it up. How is it? Have you tried the spoon? Have you
No,
eaten
it's still in the
Cheerios with it? Yo, if you were to eat, like what cereal do you think pairs best with Zelda?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I feel like
So you can't do the Nintendo brand,
No,
like the
80s
split
one?
which I had that.
me. Fuck, that's a really good question. I don't really like the cereal very much, but maybe like Apple Jacks.
Oh, you're just going with color.
Color, but also, do you know how many apples I have in my inventory right now in that game?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
So maybe something like Apple Jack.
Apple Jacks are just the lesser fruity.
They're not that good. Sorry, Apple Jacks lovers, but they're not. They're not my favorite.
I'm not sorry. Fuck you. No. Like Apple Jacks are some whack shit. That's
they're
what
like
they are.
less good Fruit Loops.
That's what they are. Yeah, less good Fruit Loops,
Yeah.
and Fruit Loops are also just fine.
I like a good Fruit Loop, but Cinnamon Toast Crunch, that's top tier cereal.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is top tier. Fucking. I think we can all vote on that, dude. That is some good shit. Give me that shit, dude.
I wish they had Cinnamon Toast Crunch in Japan.
Do you eat cereal?
I used to. Well, okay. In the U.S., I would go on like cereal kicks because I don't like milk that much.
Okay.
And like, I'd go on.
How do
like,
you eat cereal without milk?
No, like so I wouldn't eat it that often,
Okay.
but I would get like a hankering, like a cereal hankering, and I would go to the store and I'd buy a box of whatever cereal I was feeling, most
Okay.
likely Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
No,
And then
Cookie
I would eat it like 2 meals a day until the box was gone. And I'd just like eat nothing but fucking cereal. And then I'm like, it's like a hyper focus. Like I'd be like, I really want cereal.
Oh, I still do that to this day. I don't eat. I probably eat cereal once every 3 months, but then I eat that for the entire day.
Yeah.
And Japan doesn't have very many cereals, so I get like
Frosted Flakes. That's the one I see mostly.
I don't even get that because I don't like Frosted Flakes that much.
I don't like them either.
I get like, I don't know, Chocolatos or some bullshit. But
yeah.
it's the closest to a child's bullshit cereal that I can get because
Yeah.
I sometimes I just have I need that. It's like dessert for food.
And welcome to the Cereal Cast.
So the best the fact is, you say Apple Jacks. It's not. It's Cinnamon Toast Crunch that pairs best.
That's the answer to everything. That's just an excuse to eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
It pairs best. So go out and go to cinnamon-toastcrunch.com / Nasty Labs to save up to. Hey, so what do you think about Zelda the game?
So one of the biggest elements in this was the
Yeah.
fuse and like building stuff.
Right.
I thought I would not like that at all. I think I'm kind of liking it. Although I will never probably post any of my creations online because they always look horrible and janky. Like, okay, do you know the little backpack Korok guy?
Sure.
From the beginning.
Yeah.
He's up there. You run into him a lot. And like getting him to his friend in new and exciting ways.
Right.
I didn't just glue a rocket to him and said, "Good luck, buddy."
Right.
I didn't see him again, but
He'll
it's
do
been
that.
really fun. Like
Yeah.
all the like, stupid little things that you can just do, like they're all really sidetracky things. I'm like on my way somewhere, then I'm like, "Oh,
Right.
there's the Korok. Okay, I got to build some weird fucking thing to get him over there."
Sure.
Because just carrying him with your power is like so slow and not worth it.
Right. Right. Yeah. So
great.
for those that don't know, there's a little Korok guy from the previous game. He's back, but for whatever reason, he's always says, "Hey, I got to go to my friend," and his friend, there's some obstacle between you,
Yeah.
the guy, and the friend, and it's a mini puzzle.
Yeah.
It's kind of always the same puzzle.
It's
I mean,
always
it is,
the same puzzle.
Yeah, it has to be.
But you can just think of you could just take him over there if you wanted to. Some of them, there isn't even an obstacle. He's just far away and the bro's tired.
I mean, that's pretty cute, and it is neat that I feel like I haven't experienced that much of the game, but like that's one of the only characters you can fuse to something.
Yeah,
So
I don't know
really
why
cute.
he's fused. Maybe because he's wearing a backpack. Maybe you're not fusing him. You're fusing
Sure,
his giant ass
yeah.
backpack.
Yeah.
But like, I just stick him to whatever, a rocket. It's great.
Yeah. I also won't be making anything, I imagine. Mostly because like all the stuff that's on Twitter, it's like giant like flaming cocks, and which is cool. I'm really for that. Like but I'm not. I didn't play Minecraft, and I'm not like that kind of creative brain. Like
I'm not either.
To arrange a giant flaming.
Like whenever there's like a building thing that I know, okay, I need to do this thing and build this thing. Mine, oh my God, it always looks so incredibly horrible and janky.
Can you draw?
No.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can. Yeah. My brain does not assemble parts like that. Like, no. Yeah,
that's pretty great.
I don't think I like all that stuff.
I don't. It's weird. Like, I don't absolutely love it, like, because I'm not like a Minecrafty kid.
Yeah.
But I don't hate it, and I thought I would. I thought I was gonna curmudgeon the shit out of that. But I kind of like it because of how stupid it is.
I just wish it was slightly faster.
Yeah, I'm hoping that'll come with me getting more used to the controls, because I agree. And, like, a lot of the times I really want to, like, just rotate an item.
Yeah.
And, like, then I have to, like, do it the horizontal and the vertical to try to get that small rotation that I wanted. And, like, I have a hard time with that. But I think that is all just getting used to it. But I do love when they have you use weird construction things, like, to solve a puzzle in the shrines. Yeah. I like that.
That's cool. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I just mean like the some of the more complex stuff is, and the menu diving and the button layouts are not very fun. I understand they're probably doing the best they can within the limitations, but
I'm hoping I'll just get used to it, except for the clicky sticks. But other than that, it'll become second nature.
Yeah, removing a part is the most frustrating.
The wiggle?
I don't think it feels very good.
Yeah, I don't love that, because especially when, like, I attach something and it's a very precarious situation and it attached just kind of weird, and I'm like, oh, I got to restick that. But I have to wiggle the whole fucking thing to get it off. And, like, I'm like, no, it was precarious.
Yeah. So, long story short, we don't love the building, but we don't mind the building.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's not the best thing in the world, but it's definitely not the worst. It could have been shit.
It could have been a lot worse.
Like, and it does seem like there will be some instances that will be really creative.
Yeah, but I do love the fuse element with the weapons.
I don't.
I really like it.
That's one thing that I don't like that.
And I like it for the same reason I like the building, because it's stupid. Like, I had, like, a sword and a mushroom combo for so long, and it was awesome. And I don't know why, but because I don't know that much about, like, the min-maxing of what to put together. I don't care about that shit. But my mushroom sword lasted a very long time. And it looked rad.
Okay, do weapons seem like they last longer?
No.
Okay.
Unless they're fused.
Okay. Well, they seem like they last a lot longer, too.
Oh, really?
Seem like it. I don't know.
They might. I don't know. Because a lot of people complained about that in the last one, so it wouldn't surprise me if they made them last longer.
I never had a problem with them breaking. I thought it was always kind of cool, but now it seems like they last longer, and I am for that. I
don't mind the weapon degradation, because it encourages me to. I'm the kind of person who, when I find a weapon I really like, I use it the whole game.
Absolutely.
And so it makes it so I can't do that. The only thing I don't like is I wish that there was some sort of meter so I knew how much life was left in it. I know that once you have like 2 hits left, it's blinking red. Yeah. But I want something else, because so many times I'm mid-fight and I'm not great at the combat in Zelda, and my fucking weapon breaks, and then I'm like, ah! And I have like a minor freak out where I'm trying to run away but also get in the menus.
Right.
And like, or if it like auto-equipped you're next in line when it broke.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Why doesn't it do that? That's a good point.
Because, like, I get so frustrated. I get so frustrated when it breaks. Good point. And I'm trying to fight, even if it's like a sort of difficult enemy, then I'm like, fuck. You know, I'm like trying to get into the menu and I'm running away. And I didn't realize it only had like 5 hits left on it. And like, oh.
Uncle Nintendo.
I want a meter, even if it was just like a line across the top in the inventory. You know, and it had just a line that moved. It told me how broken it was.
So
anything.
I don't need that, because I think that there's probably a randomizer, but like every hit, like the likelihood.
Oh, probably.
Like, so like maybe sometimes it's like it does a lot of damage to the sword or not, whatever. I kind of like that, to be honest.
Or if it's like a sword, but you hit a tree instead of an axe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, then the gauge wouldn't work in that.
It wouldn't work equally, you know. Because it would just show like it takes a lot of damage. I'm cool with all of it. I like the breaking. But anyway, Kinsey, you wanted to talk about the first Zelda ever.
So I wanted to bring like something up that was Zelda related, but not necessarily Tears of the Kingdom, to go with our Zelda Spectacular.
A Zeldapocalypse.
Zeldapocalypse. God, that word's really hard for me to say.
Zeldapocalypse.
So I wanted to talk about both our first Zelda game and our favorite.
Okay.
So, Mark Lenz, what was your first Zelda game?
So we were born same year, a month apart.
20 days.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So, however, the first Zelda game I ever played was Zelda 2. Zelda 1 came out in, what, 86, maybe?
87.
87. And then Zelda 2 came out in 88, 89, something like that. So, I don't know. I was at a babysitter's house, and they had Zelda 2. And it looked so fucking cool.
Yeah.
It looked so amazing. And then I played it and was like, I don't like this. This is for big kids. That was the first one I played. What was the first Zelda you played?
First Zelda I played was the OG Legend of Zelda on the NES.
Shit.
And it was funny because when we got the NES, and I think it was a few years after it came out, because it came out the same year I was born.
Right.
So it was a few years later. But, like, we got it with Legend of Zelda because my dad wanted to play it.
Right.
It wasn't for the kids.
Sure.
It was for him. And no one was allowed to, like, touch it until my dad beat Zelda. And he, like, had it all on graph paper, like all the dungeons and everything. It was pretty cool. And I, like, my earliest gaming memory is me not playing, but sitting next to him.
Oh, that's cute.
With, like, one of those unofficial, like, hint guides.
Yeah.
The one with the hobo, tap dancing fox on the front.
Right.
You know the one.
Yes. Prime is unofficial or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was the original Zelda. And after he beat it, he, like, swore off video games because he was pissed. Like, his Link was, like, fucking amazing, you know?
Right.
And then it was like, do you want to start second quest? And he's like, absolutely, I do. Yeah. And didn't realize the second quest, 3 hearts, no sword.
3 hearts, no sword, player.
And he was like...
But the sword's just right in that room.
Yeah, but when you have, like, a gajillion hearts and you're, like, the most badass... He didn't realize second quest was not like Zelda 2.
Yeah,
at the time, it was just like the same thing, but harder.
Now the stuff is places you don't know.
Yeah,
that's the only difference, right?
Yep. Yeah. So original Zelda was my first one.
Okay. Have you ever beaten Zelda 1, Kinsey Burke?
No. I've gotten fairly far, but my husband beats it like once a year, so I've seen it beat like 1,000,000 times. It's his favorite game of all time.
Zelda 1.
Zelda 1.
It's like it's so unfun.
He plays it like that and Link to the Past. To be fair, he might like Link to the Past more.
Link to the Past is fucking
but he
rules.
plays that all the time too.
Well, Link to the Past is like that. That's a good ass game.
It's a good game.
It's a good game. That's like so. One of your other questions is favorite game, and that is my favorite game still. Like I play that game every year. Like
it's a good game.
I also play all of the ROM hacks. I play like Parallel Worlds, and I play the randomizer of. Have you ever played the randomizer?
No. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Did you play Link Between Worlds?
I've never played it.
Oh, it's so good.
I've sworn off it.
No, it's so good.
No, I'll never play it. No,
it's so good.
I just haven't played it. Let me borrow it. I'll play it. Yeah.
It's excellent.
Okay, so what is your favorite Legend of Zelda game?
So my favorite Zelda game, I do feel like it's kind of the basic bitch answer. But my favorite is Ocarina of Time.
Right.
And because...
Okay.
So when Ocarina of Time came out... Well, actually, I don't know if I got it when it came out. Whenever I played it,
right.
Like, I came home from school, and I, like, didn't play games anymore. Like, games weren't that cool.
Games
in, like, junior high school.
Right.
And I was, like, really into horses. So I, like, didn't
I'm
play
into
games. I didn't play games for a while. And I came home from school one day. And my little brother, he hates it when I tell this story because he's, like, way better at games than me now.
I'm, like, way better at games than you now.
But, like, he couldn't beat Queen Goma. Ooh. He was, like, super young at the time, though. Like, the first boss.
Oh, and you were like...
He's, like, a kid.
You're like, bitch, I got this.
And I was like, okay, I'll help you, you know. And then I helped him beat Queen Goma. And then, like, we went out into Hyrule Field, and it does that big pan, you know. And I was like, wow. It looks like real life.
That's real life.
Like, looking back at it, I don't know how I thought that, but I was like, whoa. And then me and him beat the whole game together.
You mean you held the controller and he said, go over there, and you're like, shut up, I got this. You can't even beat Goma.
He did a few of the temples. He did the Shadow Temple and the Spirit Temple.
Are those the easy ones?
No, they're hard.
How?
But, like, yeah, we played it together. It was really fun. And then I was like, I think I like video games again.
Right. And then you had that same thing happen again as well, like another another window of no video games too, right? Did you have that?
Not really. A little bit in college. Like I mostly just played Halo.
Sure.
I wasn't into like every game like I was before
Like
and am now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Ocarina of Time. Best Zelda
Ocarina of
game.
Time is it seems like a good game.
Yeah, I mean it walked so Breath of the Wild could run. Like it's all the same formula starting kind of at Link to the
walked,
Past.
so I mean, okay, that is. We're giving a lot of credit to that game. It is a good game. Yeah, it's cool.
Have you played it?
Yeah,
Good.
It's fine.
It's fun.
I had a PlayStation, and so
There was better RPG. Well, Zelda's not really an RPG.
Yeah, I didn't mean it like that. It's just like if I went over to a friend's house and played it, like I don't know why would we play that when we could play
That's a hard friend game to play.
GoldenEye.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that makes sense. Like right after the 64, I did get a PlayStation, and then I went full like PlayStation girl.
Sure.
Because that's like I discovered RPGs basically, and then my life was lost.
Yeah. That's where I went. But so what are your top 3 then? What are some other favorites?
Ocarina of Time. I don't know.
You play the GBA games?
Breath of the
Did you
Wild
play
and
the-
Link Between Worlds might be up there. I loved Link Between Worlds and Breath of the Wild.
You play the Oracles?
Oracle of Ages. Yeah.
that's
And
the
that
one
one's
you play?
pretty good. Oh, Minish Cap is also really good.
They're all good.
They're all good. See, that's the problem. I'm like, this one's good and this one's good and this one's good.
I mean, all the
And,
handheld
like,
ones are god tier.
And
all of
Twilight
them.
Princess, I think, is
That's
super
why-
underrated.
That's really why I put that. All the handhelds are god tier. They're god tier games. Twilight Princess is a clumpy mess.
I like Twilight Princess.
It's just the opening sequence is like 3 hours long.
And it's weird. Like, it's one of those, like, games that, early Wii games that uses the waggle,
Yeah.
you know? But it's so, like, not exact
Yeah.
that I kind of liked it. Because, like, especially when you're the wolf and your only attack is that, like, spin around, I'm just like, whenever I'm at a boss, I'm like, fuck.
Right.
Like, and it was kind of great. I don't
Sure,
know.
yeah.
I really enjoyed Twilight Princess a lot. And I liked going into puppy mode.
Yeah, I mean, puppy mode is the cooler of the
Yeah.
modes. For me, Link to the Past is gonna be. There's a part of me that wants to say, Link's Awakening.
Mm-hmm.
But Link to the Past is just a supreme game.
Yeah.
It's so fucking.
Did you play the Link's Awakening remake on Switch? Because, like, that remake is so good.
Oh yeah. I think it's excellent.
And the art style is the cutest. Oh, my God, it's so good.
I beat it in like 2
Yeah.
days.
It's so good.
Because I knew the game so
Yeah,
well. You know,
yeah.
It improves on all of the things that the original was, especially the button mapping. Well, thank God. But I don't think it's as good as Link to the Past. I think obviously it's way more beautiful, and the soundtrack is so fucking great. But Link to the Past is just it doesn't get better. It's really hard.
Link to the Past is
It's really
good.
hard to get better than that because like the controls are perfect and it's not that big of a game. I'm gonna go play that
Man,
game.
Zelda's just great.
Zelda
just in
is great.
general.
It's like it's a perfect series.
Even the ones I don't like that much, like Skyward Sword, it's still not a bad game in any way. Like, I still like Zelda. Like,
yeah. So,
even those, like, CDI games.
Yeah. So like, well,
Lots of
those
Gamelon.
obviously don't count. But there's no way I would go back to 1 or 2 or the 64 games. Or Twilight Princess. There's just no way I would go back to any of them and have the
I
same
would go
kind
back
of
to
fun.
them.
Like, do you
I wouldn't go back to the NES one, I don't think, at this point.
especially 2? I think 2 is way too hard and
Yeah.
like
I never played very much of it.
it's too hard.
It's way too hard.
Yeah. Whatever. The new one's great, and you should play it. And if you haven't bought it already, go to Nintendo.com and just type in Nasty Labs, and literally nothing will happen. It's the only place you can't save 69% now.
Hello, it is me, Dan, one of your Chew High Labs moderators, trusty moderators, here again with more Play This Shit. Today, I want to tell you to play Fate Tectonics by Golden Gear Games, available on the PC and Mac. This is a world-building puzzle game that asks the player to build a floating world using tiles, doing so carefully while matching all sides to avoid any collapses. As you play, you will awaken different fates to gain more powers themed around civilizations, oceans, forests, magic, and more. But unfortunately, wrong moves will upset those different fates, resulting in chain reactions of destruction and chaos. This is easy to pick up. You can play it pretty casually. There's also some deeper strategy if you want things to be more challenging. The pixel art is beautiful. The soundtrack is really cool. There's a ton of accessibility options to cater to gamers with motor skill, cognitive, and vision impairments. This game is one that I come back to every once in a while and I kind of forget how much I like it, and then I come back to it and I go, well, wow, this is like a really cool game that I feel like not enough people talk about. So Fate Tectonics by Golden Gear Games. You can get it on Steam, on PC and Mac. You can Google it, go to fatetectonics.com, check it out. My name is Dan Gorman. Go to the Discord for Chew High Labs, join us, and otherwise play this shit, play good games.
And now it's time for
The news!
And in true 50th anniversary. 50th anniversary?
Yeah,
50th
dude, we're 50 years old, player. It's 50 years old, player.
50 episodes in the Zeldapocalypse.
There we go.
Our first bit of news is about Zelda.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Is it about spoons?
Oh, you know what? I should have done that.
Okay, but you didn't.
The Amazon Japan Pruder gift with a spoon. It's great.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. We talked about cereal.
Yes.
Oh, right. We talked about cereal more than we talked about the spoon.
Blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, because we were like, what are you going to use with that? Yeah. Wow, that was like 2 minutes ago. We are
Anyways.
dipshits. All right, hit it.
As we've already discussed extensively on
Yes.
this episode, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is finally out, and people are absolutely loving it, with the majority of review sites giving the title a 9 or a 10 out of 10.
All right.
IGN even called it a masterpiece, and many outlets are saying that it's better than Breath of the Wild. During the development of the game, Aonuma, who's the lead designer of Ocarina of Time, worked on like every Zelda title after that, and is now like a high Nintendo exec, has said he's finished the game 20 times. And his advice is don't head straight to the ending. Explore, bitches.
Explore, bitches?
That's not part of the quote.
Yo, it's me, Aonuma. Get out there and explore, player.
He's beat it 20 times.
I beat that game 20 times.
And he's not even like a designer anymore, really. So he's, not like the tester guy. He's a high-level exec.
Get out there and learn about yourself.
20 times.
20 times.
Yeah, don't head straight for the ending. Exactly. Go learn about yourself. Learn about the world
dude.
of Hyrule.
Yeah, all right. That seems like, was that the news?
That's it. I mean, we have one more story.
No, but we're ending it there. Aonuma is all like, "Yo, play the game. Like, you'll like it." That's not news. That's like a beat.
Well,
it's a PR.
Well, and then it
piece.
got 9s and 10s out of 10, like pretty much across the board.
Across the board.
Across the board.
With some exceptions.
One exception.
Yeah, a big major Kotaku throwing heat, dude. All
Was
because
that like a 6 out of 10?
yeah, but like that, like it was almost like a hit piece.
Damn.
Oh yeah, you got to check it out. We're not even though we're Nasty Labs, we're not here to talk shit. But hey, man. like, come on, I don't know about all that. That's pretty funny.
It's definitely not a 6.
It ain't no 6. I mean, it's I don't know if it's a 10, but it's a 9.
Solid 9.
It's a fucking 9.
Yeah,
It's an A.
at
Of course
least,
it
yeah.
is. Like even like I'm the most curmudgeon motherfucker on the planet. It's a 9. Get out of here with that. So, next piece of news. What
and
you got?
on a completely different note.
All right, here we go.
God, you're gonna like this one.
Okay.
Did you know
Okay.
that back in 1975, Dungeons and Dragons got its first competitor? It was called Tunnels and Trolls.
Tunnels and Trolls.
It launched to great popularity.
Okay.
And it was being sold as an easier and more accessible alternative to D&D, being known for only using 6-sided dice.
Okay.
And why exactly am I talking about this?
I don't know. Just so listeners know, I don't know the news pieces. She's got a computer in front of her, and I'm doing everything in my power to not look because she said this story is really fucking stupid, or that I'll hate it or something like that. So, why are we talking about this?
Well,
okay.
Rebellion, the developer behind the Sniper Elite games, just acquired the IP and says it's working on the next chapter of Tunnels and Trolls.
Dude. That's the news?
That's it. I'm kind of excited. If you've heard of Tunnels and Trolls before right now listening to this podcast, please comment below because I have never heard of Tunnels and Trolls, and I like D&D, and I like D&D spin-offy things. Never heard of Tunnels and Trolls in my life, but Rebellion's got the IP, so you know what? I love a good like stat style RPG. All RPGs are stat style, but like, so I love it.
Okay, I've never seen Tunnels and Trolls, but I like someone. This is about all I know about it. Someone in my life had said, "Yeah," and back when there was Tunnels and Trolls, then blah blah blah. It was such this passing knowledge. Mm-hmm. No, but I didn't know about it. I'm not gonna like pretend to be like, yeah, Tunnels and Trolls.
Tunnels and Trolls.
It was a real competitor back then. Like, but. This is fucking weird,
right?
And thank you for including this piece of news. I'm Sniper Elite Game Company. What are they called? Rebellion. I don't know them. Where are they from?
No idea. So I saw like when I was going through all the news.
What in the hell is Tunnels and Trolls? Where is it made? Who made it? And like, why were they out for Gygax's blood? Like what? I'm scratching my head over here.
It was funny because when I was looking at news articles and I was trying to figure out which one to report on. I was originally going to do like only Zelda related, but then I'll shout out to PC Gamer because I saw this and I was like, nope, that's it. That's the one.
No, this is
because it's so weird and cool and like reviving like an old IP from the 70s. Like, did Tunnels and Trolls even go very far? How many people played it beyond 1985?
Okay, so I played a lot of D&D growing up, and one of the biggest hurdles for people was understanding dice. Mm-hmm. And having a whole bunch of 6-sided dice would have made, like, I don't know, like my dad.
Yeah.
At least, like, people think that when they see these, like, 20-sided, 100-sided dice that, like, these are complex. They're not, right? But in your mind, you're like, oh, it's an 8-sided die. Oh, why is it a triangle or whatever? Like, this seemed less dorky.
Yeah. That was its top billing, was that it's easier and they only use 6-sided dice.
A far worse name.
Tunnels and Trolls.
Tunnels and Trolls player. But, I mean, it's kind of silly.
It's like the lesser, like Dungeons and Dragons.
Tunnels and Trolls. Hey, man, come on. Let's play some Tunnels and... I ain't playing Tunnels and Trolls.
God,
that's Carl's Jr. to, like... every McDonald's chain.
I just hope they like keep the name and it's not like the big fantasy adventure, a Tunnels and Trolls quest. I hope they loud and proud that Tunnels and Trolls.
I think they will. They have
hope
to.
They do.
Like, they're not going to rename it at this point. Why would you have bought it? Tunnels and Trolls. There must be something in the IP that's like attached to it that's like really valuable.
Yeah.
Why on earth would they buy this?
I love how weird the story is for that reason.
Yes, because like we don't know anything about it, so all we can do is speculate.
Yeah.
It is kind of exciting.
I wonder how many people went down the like internet rabbit hole of Tunnels and Trolls after this article was posted.
I will. After
Yeah,
this,
right?
Of course, I'm gonna be like the number 3 genius on Tunnels and Trolls in 2 days because you posted this. I'm all for it. This was a great piece of news. The other Zelda 10, great, but now I'm for this.
Tunnels and Trolls, bitches. And now it's time for Call Me Up, where we answer your Discord questions. If you ever want to ask us a question, head on over to our Discord. Scroll down. Unless you're using a bigger monitor, I don't know. In most cases, scroll down.
No, if you're using a bigger monitor, you're rich, and you shouldn't be on our Discord right now, all right? You should be making investments and financing things.
So scroll down to Call Me Up and ask your question there.
Yeah, do that for fun. Kinsey Burke, our first and only question for this episode is really important and
very important.
Near and dear to my heart. I have worked at 2 different Japanese companies, so this is something I'm very familiar with. So I'm going to ask it. This is from Steven, one of our mods. Glorious guy, now lives in Osaka. Slip into his DMs.
Welcome to Japan.
What's your favorite omiyage / souvenirs to receive from coworkers? And omiyage is a little present that you bring to your coworkers when you've gone and you traveled. Maybe you go to Tokyo.
And you get some Tokyo banana.
You get Tokyo banana. Maybe you go somewhere else and you get the regional thing from there. That's kind of the typical way of doing it. For example, one of our coworkers is Taiwanese, and whenever he goes to Taiwan, he always brings back probably, I bet he buys 100 of these things.
Yeah.
And like the Taiwanese pineapple cake. That's just an example.
It's good too.
I don't like it.
It's
but
good.
that's kind of all of these. They're all like hit and miss. So, Kinsey Burke, what is your favorite omiyage / souvenir to receive from coworkers?
I do like regional snacks, for better or for worse.
Yep.
Although, I know this isn't the question. It's literally the opposite of the question.
Okay.
But worst omiyage.
Well, we'll get there. Oh, you're already throwing the
throwing
heat.
the
All
shade
right,
already.
What you got?
One of our coworkers,
Right.
he went to the U.S.
Yes.
And I guess the U.S. doesn't really have those, like, omiyage packages, prepackaged, individually wrapped cookies that we have necessarily. But he brought, like, a 4-foot gummy worm or some shit.
A gummy worm.
It was a gummy worm.
It was very thick and rotund.
Ooh. And it was really hard to cut. We tried using, like, a bread knife to, like, like it's a loaf of bread, like, slice
I was
off.
really
So people-
upset when I
people
found out
get
they were using a
slices.
bread knife and how dangerous that shit is. Like
But I tried it with, like, a regular knife, but it needed the teeth.
I believe you.
You know?
But
Oh, God.
so it's a 3-foot, 5-pound gummy worm. That's a very bad omiyage, but it was very, very thoughtful.
Yeah, and we're still talking about it. So, I mean, it was funny, to be honest.
And Americans love 4-foot, 5-pound gummy worms.
Right?
Kinsey, what is your favorite though?
I think my favorite is really just regional snacks, like from wherever you went. Like that pineapple cake
That's what
that he brought
omiyage
back
is.
so good.
That's
It
what.
doesn't have to be regional, but it usually is.
I mean, it is because you get it from the place.
Yeah.
Tokyo banana is mine for sure, especially the
Ooh, what was that one flavor that we got?
strawberry. Or
That
some
was
shit?
coffee. Was it coffee?
Coffee, yeah.
Oh, it was
yeah.
so good.
So I like whenever I go to Tokyo, I always get like 4 boxes, 3 for myself and 1 for work.
A lot of people say Tokyo banana is overrated, but the
It
funny
is,
thing is,
but it is also great.
They're wrong. It's delicious.
Mine's booze.
I
Bring
do
back
like that.
booze. Like especially, I don't know, friends from. Here's
Korea.
Korea Bokbun Jeju, which is like a blackberry wine. It's really fucking sweet. It's very disgusting. It's like legit disgusting. So like, ew, 18%. Ugh. It's so sweet too. But no, booze is my favorite. Bring me whiskey, and we'll put it on the shelf behind us. Yeah, that's my answer.
And a little tip
Oh,
for those nerds out there visiting Japan.
yep.
The Pokemon Center has an omiyage section, and that comes in really cute tins. And I think I've tasted all of the omiyage now because there's a lot of different tins, but there's really only like 2 or 3
Right.
kinds of cookies inside. They're all pretty good. And then afterwards, you get a cute tin.
Booyah!
Tips and tricks. And that's all the time we have for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. As always, huge thank you to Dan Gorman and his Play This Shit.
Play this shit.
Play This Shit. And as always, Carve Snowboarding is out right now on the Oculus Quest. Halloween Forever is out right now on the Nintendo Switch eShop. And you can buy Curse to Golf on pretty much every platform.
As always.
Buy our merch at theyeti.com/ChewHighLabs. And where can you find Mark on the internet?
Hell of a pivot. You can find me on twitter.com/thehenrydemos. Kinsey Burke. Where can people find Kinsey Burke on the internet?
You can find me at Kinzilla. And as always, you can find Chew High Labs at Chew High Labs on all the things.
Yeah, dude, especially on Foot Finder, you can get all of our feet.
Can you imagine having like a collective profile where it's like a whole studio?
I can.
And then that's secretly what funds. Wait, no, this is a really good idea, you guys.
This is a good idea, dude. Dude, just Pathfinder/Chuhai Labs to get like.
As always, huge thank you to Tokyo Beat, and thanks to all of you for listening. You are legally the best. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.